U.S. braces for government shutdown as Congress hits deadlock. The United States is once again on the brink of a federal government shutdown, with lawmakers failing to pass a stopgap funding bill before the October 1st deadline.
10 hours away from government funding expiring, simply because the Republicans are not serious about keeping it open.
At 12:01 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, large portions of the federal government are expected to begin shutting down, marking the first lapse in funding since the 2018 to 2019 standoff and the first under President Donald Trump's second term. The Senate on Monday night rejected a Republican-backed continuing resolution that sought to extend government funding temporarily. The bill fell short of the 60 votes needed to overcome a filibuster, blocked primarily by Democrats who argued it did not adequately address healthcare priorities, including subsidies under the Affordable Care Act. With no compromise in sight, lawmakers left Washington at an impasse. The consequences are already rippling through the federal workforce. Nearly 750,000 government employees are expected to face furloughs, while others deemed essential will continue working without immediate pay. The Office of Management and Budget has directed agencies to prepare reduction in force plans, signaling that non-essential roles could face permanent cuts if the shutdown drags on. Federal employee unions have vowed legal action, calling the potential firings both unlawful and cruel. The disruption will touch nearly every corner of public life. While Social Security checks and Medicare benefits will continue, services such as food inspections, scientific research, and visa processing will be slowed or halted. One of the most visible impacts will be on America's national parks. Unlike past shutdowns, the Trump administration announced that most parks will remain open, funded by recreation fees. However, with skeleton staffing, visitor centers will close, trash pickup will be limited, and safety enforcement could become inconsistent. Parks without access to special fee revenue may close outright. The political fallout is already intensifying. President Trump and his allies have pinned the blame squarely on Democrats.
Democrats are crazed. They don't know what they're doing.
Blocking essential government funding over partisan demands. At the State Department, Undersecretary Jason Evans issued a strikingly partisan message to staff, condemning Democrats for sacrificing federal workers for politics. Democrats, in turn, argue that Republicans are holding the government hostage by attaching healthcare policy riders to a basic funding bill. Senate leaders insisted they were ready to negotiate, but would not trade away Americans' health security to keep the lights on. Meanwhile, Trump has used the looming crisis as a political cudgel. He warned that if Democrats continue to resist,
we can do things during the shutdown that are irreversible, that are bad for them and irreversible by them, like cutting vast numbers of people out, cutting things that they like, cutting programs that they like.
In a controversial move, he also circulated an AI-generated video mocking Democratic leaders, a tactic that drew widespread condemnation and further inflamed tensions. With both chambers entrenched, there is little optimism that a resolution will emerge quickly. Each additional day of stalemate will cost federal workers their paychecks, stall government functions, and deepen public frustration. For now, Americans brace themselves for another round of political brinkmanship, one that could leave long-lasting scars on both the nation's workforce and its faith in government.